deliver a lot of workshops and presentations to companies, and often the audience I face doesn't want to be there. And they look like this. Yet, just 3 minutes later, I have them laughing, engaging, and wanting to be in the room. What do I do in those 3 minutes? Well, stick around for the rest of this video and you'll find out. Because today I'm going to give you a foolproof guide for winning over your audience. Now, my name's Kyle Murter. I help people speak with more confidence and impact, and do subscribe to this channel if you want to improve your presentation skills, because every week I've got new helpful videos for you. So first, I'm going to explain what you have to do in those 3 minutes, and then I'm going to give you an example of me doing it in a workshop. So what do you need to do? Well, if you want to take your audience from being closed off and not wanting to be there to being fully engaged in what you're saying, I think 3 things are critical. First, you need to get them involved in your presentation. Second, you need to make them laugh. And then third, you need to share a personal story. So I'm going to talk you through each of these things now, and then I'll give you that example. Getting them involved. You want to go from having a presentation to having a conversation with the audience. Because when you have a conversation, it makes it so much more personal, relaxed, and people begin to open up more. And it also goes back to that old quote by Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I'll forget. Teach me and I'll remember. But involve me and I'll learn. So immediately try and get them involved with a raise of hands, a group discussion, answering a question, something to bring them into your presentation. Second, make them laugh. There's nothing more powerful for bringing down barriers than laughter. Humor is incredible for opening people up, for getting people on your side. Because it's very hard to laugh with someone and not like them. And as you already know, when the audience begins to like you, they begin to listen to you and then therefore take action on your words. Finally, sharing that personal story. You want to go from being a stranger to a friend quickly. And the best way to do that is through telling a story about yourself. A story that reveals who you are, a little bit about your background, and why you are connected and care about the topic in discussion. So I'm now going to give you an example of how I bring these 3 things in to the first 3 minutes of my workshop. I'll also label what I'm using when to make it very clear. I want to begin by getting a sense of who I'm speaking to. So please raise your hand for me if you enjoy presentations. Tumbleweed. And raise your other hand if you endure presentations. Oh yeah, now it's a party. Well, you know something? I used to endure them as well. I used to avoid them. I used to hate presentations. And I think that all began for me in school. You see, back in my high school, in our English class, we often used to read a book that we were studying to the class. And one year, we were reading a book by Shakespeare. And it was my turn to speak to the class. And so I got up there and held the book in my hands. And in hindsight, the book actually said, to be or not to be, that is the question. But with my shaky hands in front of the entire class, I read aloud, to pee or not to pee, that is the question. So as you can imagine, my classmates were very supportive about that. But it planted the idea that when I stand up and speak, bad things happen. And that continued, followed me into university and in work when I did presentations. I would stand up and lose my place, or I would stand up and say 2 words and sit back down. And then one day, after another terrible presentation, I'd had enough. I needed to change things. And that's when I decided to try and get better at my speaking skills. Now, 8 years on from making that decision, I'm now a European champion of public speaking. I've wrote a 5-star book on the topic, and with my business Confidence by Design, I've had the pleasure of helping thousands of people overcome their fear and develop compelling speaking styles. And today, I want to help you do the same. So I think that was about 3 minutes, and it hopefully gives you an idea of how you can apply those 3 things as well to win over your audience. And I promise you, if you do that and you execute it well, the audience are going to open up and be far more receptive to your ideas, your information, your workshop event, whatever it may be. But what tips do you have for winning over an audience? Please type them in the comments below. I would love to see them. And if you are looking to sound a bit more confident as you're delivering your workshop or presentation, check out this video on how to sound confident at all times. I'll see you in the next one.